Hi everyone, we're going to work today on the multi-view for the clamp plate. I told you I would walk you through this. This object, if you've noticed, I've got a picture of it up here on the screen. And here's the isometric of it, what the object actually looks like with dimensions on it. You've got this on your PDF. And then in the background, in sort of these little sketchy lines, what you see are the layout for this object. And that's what we're going to be working from. So first thing we have to do is determine how many views we need for this object. And if you look at it, you want to pick out the best shape as your front view. In other words, what's the oddest looking, the best shape for the front view? And in this case, this would be the best shape for the front view, because what we've got is sort of an F shape here. If we look at just from this direction, all we see is a bunch of rectangles. See, there's a rectangle looking at it this way. There's a rectangle. Here's another one. And then here's another rectangle looking at this direction with two holes in it. So that's sort of plain. So this is going to be our front view. And then our right side view will show us these holes visible. The top view would show us nothing that we don't already know. So in that case, we only need two views of this. So let's get started. The first thing I would do is lay out a box. And what you want to lay out is a box for your front view and a box for your right side. Your front view will consist of the width of the object and the height of the object, which the width is 1.625 or 1 5/8 by 5 1/4, which is 5.25. So let's draw a line. Go into the line command. We'll come over 1.625. Okay. We're going to go up 5.25, which is 5 1/4. Now I can come down here and hover and recognize that point, or I can just type back in 1.625 and then back down to my corner. So there's my box for my front view. Then we're going to put 1 inch between views because we don't want them touching. So I'm going to hover here. I'm not clicking. I'm going to hover, drag over, and type in 1 as my starting point. So there's my starting point. Now, the depth of this object is 4.625 or 4 5/8. And it is also 5 1/4 tall. Again, I can type in 5 1/4, or I can hover here and then drag across till I get my two green lines. There they are. Click. Come back over. I want this point here, or I can type in my 4.625 again. Either one will work. Click and back down. And there's my box for my front view, my box for my right side, and 1 inch between. So now we want to lay out this front view. This bottom lip down here is up 1/2 inch. Okay? And then it goes back into the object 0.438. Okay, which is 0.4375. Okay, so I'm going to hover here. I'm going to go up, and I'm going to go up 1/2 inch. And there's my start point, and it goes back in. I'm going to use the numbers they've got just to make it simple on you, but it's 438. 0.438. Okay. And then this piece is up. And I'm going to go back to the drawing so I can make sure what it is. Okay, this piece is up 1.688. So 1.688. And then it comes back out to the edge there. I'm going to hit enter. Okay. And then this piece here, again, the overall height of this is 2.688. So we would have to do math to figure all that out if we wanted to. But the easiest way to do it is go to the line, hover here, start dragging up and type in 2.688. And then this goes back. Now see, in a case like this, we don't know the depth of this. So what you can do is just draw your line back like that. Okay? Now from the top, if we go back to the image here, you notice it's 0.688 again. So I'm going to do line. I'm going to hover, drag over, 0.688. There's my start point. I'm going to drag down until I intersect that line and click there, hit enter. Now I can trim this, or I can use the grip and drag it back, either one. Okay? So as you see, there's that F shape. Now like I said, we can use trim, use this as a cutting edge, this as a cutting edge, and hit enter. Get rid of that and get rid of that. Or we can hit trim, and notice it says select all inside the less than or greater than. If I hit enter, now everything on the screen is a cutting edge, and I can just click there and not have to click individual edges. So there's that basic shape of the front view. Now, how do we get these lines over here on the right side? Well, the easiest thing to do now is click on line, hover over this point, drag across, click the intersection. That line goes all the way from the front to the back. If you notice, it goes from here all the way to the back. Okay. Do the very same thing here. Hover, drag across, and click and drag across here. Okay. So there's that line. Now I tell you, if you accidentally click here and drag, don't stop here. Go ahead and drag all the way over to here. The key is make sure you get the X and not the midpoint. Okay, because the midpoint's really close. Now all you have to do here is click on this, drag that grip over, and now it's in the right place. And then you hit escape. So there's those lines. All right, now the only thing we have to do left is put the holes in the object. If you notice, these holes are located up from this platform. I'll go back to our good view. Located up 1.312. And then from the other end, 1.25, and then 2.125 between them. Okay? So, let's do us a line. And I'm going to hover over this point. The reason why, if I go back here, notice this 1.25 is measured from the front going backwards. So I'm going to hover here. I'm going to drag back. And now I'm going to tell it my starting point is 1.125. Okay? There it is. All right? And then I'm going to draw me a line just down. I'll draw it all the way down. That's fine. Here's where we can use the offset command. So if I go to offset, and now it says specify distance, I'm going to offset that distance 1.312. Hit enter. And offset. So where those two cross, that's my center point. And these holes have a diameter of 0.812. So again, if I click on radius, now remember this is in diameter. It says specify center point. So once I do that, now it gives me the option of changing to diameter by clicking. Okay? So if I click now, I'm in diameter. The other thing I could have done is I could hit the drop down and just went to center diameter to start with. So now click here, and it's asking for diameter 0.812. Hit enter. There it is. Okay? And then the other one is located over here 2.125 or 2 1/8 inches away. Well, let's do a copy command. So I hit copy. It says select objects to copy. Click on my circle. Hit enter, because that's the only thing I want to copy. Now it says base point. Well, the center points are 2 1/4 inches apart, 2 1/8 inches apart. So I'm going to click on that center point. I'm going to drag over, and I'm going to type in 2.125. And it will put that circle exactly where it needs to be. Once I get that done, I can hit enter, and I'm out of the command. So those are correct now. Okay? The only thing I've got left to do is draw my hidden lines and my center lines, because I've got all my visible lines drawn. Okay? So let's see what we've got on those. Now this is one thing that I always like to do. If I check something, I'm going to go, okay, 1 1/8, that's good. And then these should be 2 1/4 apart here. And, oh, it's only 2 1/8. I didn't go far enough. Oh, yes, I did. 2.125. See, I'll go back to my picture. 2.125. Okay? So we're in the right place now. Okay? So now, notice these two lines are here. I'm going to cut my line weight display on. If you notice, I've got everything drawn in object right now, because they're all object lines. Okay? So you see how thick they get when I click on that? Well, I'm going to take these two lines right here, and I'm going to change them from the object layer to the center layer. If you notice, they change line types at that point. I usually don't draw with my lines on here big and thick like this because it gets a little confusing, but in this case, it might help a little bit. These lines, a center line goes approximately 1/4 inch past the circular feature. So if I click on it, grab my grip and drag it back to the quadrant, and then drag it back out, 0.25, that's in the right place. My other option of doing that is go to offset and offset 0.25. Click on the circle, click out, now it's out there. And now I can say trim and use this circle as my cutting edge, and then use this to cut it back to. Okay? And I can back this one back the same way. Okay? I can back this one back the same way. Okay, there it is. Now click there and hit delete, and there you see my center line. The reason why they've got these center lines, I'll go back to our image. The reason why, whoops, I lost it by accident. The reason why I've got this center line going all the way through is because they want to show that they're in the same plane. Okay? So what I can do to do that is I can click, grab my grip, drag all the way over to here, grab it again, drag out, and say 0.25, and that will put it there. Okay? Now I'm going to hit escape. Now notice it moved my crosshair off the middle. This is one of those things you have to learn to live with AutoCAD, okay? And then all I have to do is copy this center line from the midpoint over to the midpoint, or I could have mirrored it about the middle of that line. Either one would have worked. And now my center lines are correct. Okay, so there's that. Now I need a center line here and two hidden lines to show the edges of the circle. So let's change layers instead of changing them later. Let's change layers to hidden. I'm going to draw a line, hover there, drag all the way across here, click and click. There's one hidden line. I could do the very same thing down here. I could copy, I could mirror. So if I do the line, I would hover, drag across, click, click. That's got that in the right place. I'm going to undo it. Or I could have went copy that from where? I'm going to use the top quadrant here to the bottom quadrant here. That would put it in the right place. The other option would be mirror. So if I go to mirror, click on what I want to mirror, hit enter. My midpoint line would be this line, drag straight out, and hit no. I want to keep my source object. That would put it in the right place. 3 different methods, okay? The only thing I need now is a center line. And again, I can draw one or I can copy one and use it. I'm just going to copy this one. Okay, my base point, I'm going to use that quadrant because I know it's 1/4 of an inch from there to there. I'm going to click there and I'm going to drag straight across to there. So the back side of this is in the right place. The front side I need to fix. So I'm going to click on it, grab the farthest grip, drag it all the way back, and then drag it back out 0.25. Okay, and there is that object drawn. Of course, yours will not have this picture on the screen. I left that there for us to see it. But that gives us the object drawn. So we've got visible lines all the way around, anywhere we see an edge. Okay, we've got hidden lines for surfaces or edges that we can't see, which would be the holes. We've got center lines showing circularity. So that's a center line, that's a center line. This is a center line for both of them, and it shows that they're in the same plane. And then this center line here shows the direction of cut, the direction the drill bit goes in. Okay, so if I was going to drill that hole, the hole would be drilled through there. Okay, so that's how you do that drawing. You can watch this multiple times to make sure you get it right, and then turn it in. And then I want you to try the other drawing on your own and see how you do on it. Good luck. Have a great day.